do you find it difficult when you go out to social situations with people that you don't know so well, but you're like at things? Do you feel like you're always constantly being judged about how you're eating, how you're acting, what you're doing?
First of all, thanks so much for having me on, Luke. Appreciate it. Marbella local. Love to see the podcast doing so well. And this is in my neighborhood. So when I see things like this pop up, I'm like, yes, I'm invested in Nueva Lucia. So love it. And thanks so much for having me on. But so in terms of social situations, so I wrote a book. It's called the Rob Lipsett Game Plan, and a huge part of that book is about lifestyle and flexible dieting. And so when I started off getting involved in fitness and learning about training and nutrition, I actually developed pretty much an eating disorder and social anxiety around training and nutrition. I was very young. I was, maybe like 20, and I was afraid to go out to eat. How cringe and lame does that sound? I would always freak out about my diet. If I had a drink, I'd be like, oh no, my progress is ruined for the week. And then I realized that fitness is meant to improve your life, not take away from it. So I started studying how to, kind of tailor my whole plan that could allow me to go out and have fun and not derail myself, and also change up my mindset as well, which is kind of the main thing. So if I'm going out to a social situation, I will literally, kind of like what you said before this podcast, I'll just bank some calories, mainly carbs and fats, for that meal out, and then I won't worry about it. If I'm gonna have some drinks, I'll lower carbs, lower fats, do some extra cardio, do a walk that day, and then just don't go overboard. And then when you're there, make smart choices like Diet Coke and vodka, order like just a steak and broccoli, whatever, and then I don't overthink it. But in the past, man, it used to mess with my head so much. I'd be like, oh no, I'll just order, a mocktail or something. Everybody like, what the fuck? But so I've learned over the years through a lot of trial and error and a lot of kind of research to figure out how to live life to the fullest and not have it detract, from social situations and detract from you having fun. And that's one of the biggest things when I'm working with a client is, especially Irish and UK people, they love going out, is how are we going to incorporate your plan into your whole entire life? So that's something that I used to definitely struggle with, especially when I was younger. But now I've kind of learned to work around it.
Yeah, because I mean, as a fighter, when I had to make weight. It's obviously different occupation, different thing. Still. But I used to be the awkward guy that would go out and only drink water, and I would only eat. So I'd be so calorie specific, and everyone just thought I was a weirdo.
Now, with that said, these days that's all good for maintaining progress. Mm-hmm. If you want to make progress, and if you're fucking mad out of shape, you're going to have to go monk mode for a couple months, right? You're not going to make progress going out, eating out every meal, every evening, or even every weekend, and having drinking every weekend. You can maintain, but 90% of people can't make significant progress. Like, you'll just coast along and you'll stay in good shape. But if you really want to get massive results, then you're going to have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of sacrifice. So you can maintain, but you can't make mad progress doing that.
Yeah, and I think you said it, like most guys, they think about the weekend. And I remember this, I used to work with a guy called Mike Dolce. I don't know if you've heard of him.
Dolce Diet.
Yeah, Dolce Diet. Yeah. So he was big in the fighting game.
Yeah.
Still is big and does great work. And he's all about the plant-based diet and all these sort of things. I'll have Mike on the podcast at one point when I go over to the States. But he used to say to me the same thing, like with the regular guys that you deal with, they always talk about the weekend. The weekend's 3 days. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
It's
half the week. And then if you mess up once during the week, one meal during the week you mess up, that means that you're just doing 50-50 dieting. That's what that stuck with me. It's like, oh, so you just eat out of the weekends, it's 50-50 dieting.
Yeah, so, it's like, it's to be exact 3.5. Okay, week is 7 days, so let's say you fucking go out on Thursday. You're on a bender till Sunday. It's like, that is fully, I think that's more than half the week, you know what I mean?
So I think a lot of people struggle with that ideology of a cheat meal. I mean, he used to make me do one, I don't know what you do for your clients or how you look at life, but when I was fighting, it used to be once every 10 days. And that then cancels out the like weekly cycle type thing. So I'd have to literally calculate, okay, this time it's a Wednesday, next week is going to be a Thursday, whatever it would be. But how, like you said, what was the book called?
It's called the Rob Lipsett Game Plan.
Game plan.
Yeah, game
Okay,
plan.
right.
Yeah,
So
same as my app. So I got the app name and
okay,
everything.
perfect. So with the game plan, how do you approach? Like you said, for social situations, you said that you try and add a bit of cardio in the day. And like what I've done, because I'm going out for Christmas meal tonight.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it with the boys.
Yeah, nice.
Today I had a salmon salad, which is, in my opinion, is pretty gay.
Yeah.
But I had to do it. And I've just drank water all day, and I did a good solid workout this morning. So I know I'm going to be calorie heavy tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm in the situation in my life now where I've been a professional athlete, and I've now come out into making a bit of money and working and socializing and networking and going to these events and doing all this sort of stuff. I found over the last 2 years, it's been 3 years since I had a fight. Pretty much this weekend was my last fight 3 years ago. So in those 3 years, I've gone from having 8% body fat to 26% body fat, and now I'm about 19%, if I want to say that.
Yeah,
so,
that's accurate.
Yeah, I'm trying to drop back down to 12. But what would that be? I don't want to be like most people watching. I don't want to probably be on stage. I don't want to do it. I just want to be in shape, look good, feel good, all that other stuff. What is the like range of a good above average guy who's like wants to look good and feel good?
Yeah, for sure. So first of all, you're a big dude, big frame, so you'll be able to cut on a lot of calories, you know, compared to the average guy. So the first thing I would do is I would work out, first of all, what's going to put you in about a 500 calorie deficit. So you go online, you type in TDE calculator, and you'll get, you know, a bunch of different calculators that you put in your height, weight, activity level, and it'll give you, you know, calorie intake to go for. And then you want to set protein at a gram per pound of body weight. If you're cutting, I actually kind of recommend, now you don't need this much, but generally you're going to do better on even a little bit higher. And that's not for any superior muscle gain or recovery. It's more just for satiety, which is stops you getting hungry, which is the main thing in a cut. Why do you fucking mess up? You get too hungry, you eat too much. That's it, there's the science, right? And so the more protein you eat, typically, you know, you can't just have all your calories made of protein, but the more protein you eat, typically you're going to be more full. If someone put a plate of unseasoned chicken breast in front of you, like 2,000 calories worth, you probably couldn't even eat it. But if someone put like, you know, a birthday cake or whatever, a donut, you could absolutely floor them easily. It'd be like a tiny plate. So I would stick just over a gram per pound of body weight for protein, a 500 calorie deficit. I would have protein in at every single meal, and then I'd have the rest, about 20% of your calories coming from fats, and the rest of your calories should come from carbs. Now, you don't want to completely eliminate carbs. Your training is going to go to shit if you do, and then you're going to lose muscle. And so the main goal on a cut is to lose body fat and retain muscle. Right? There's no point. Everyone can lose weight if you just slash what you eat, but you want to be performing to the best of your ability while also dropping body fat. So people think, I know people do keto and it works for some, but the majority of people will do better on just lowering their carbs, but still keeping their carbs in. And so their training doesn't go to shit. Lift as heavy as possible. The whole light weight for high reps to burn and tone, that's BS. You got that muscle by lifting heavy. How are you going to retain it? By lifting heavy. So another thing that I recommend when it comes to your training is, let's say you start your cut, you're benching 100 kg. It's a successful cut if at the end of it, in 12 weeks, you're at a lower body fat percentage and you're still lifting the same.